Hi everyone, I'm Kathy Hazel Adams. Thank you for joining me today. Today's message, I think, is not going to be a very long one, and it's probably pretty simple. I keep feeling, hearing, seeing boundary, independence, discernment. And what this feels like it's about to me is just the fact that we have so much coming at us right now, so to speak. Energetically, certainly, changes, shifts in the collective and individual consciousness that are reflected in, not caused by, the planetary alignments, the full moons, the eclipses, the spring equinox, of course, all of these, and the geomagnetic storms, their solar flares have been going on for a couple of days and some events. So the thing is with all of those things happening, there are a lot of predictions and a lot of psychics and clairvoyants and channeled entities that you can turn on the YouTube or any podcast and hear all kinds of predictions. Independence and discernment and boundary. I'm going to remind you to choose carefully who and what you listen to and what you take in. Your boundary, it's not walls against other people, it's your sacred, sacrosanct space. You choose what to include in your field of reality, what you include in what you want to vibrate with, what you choose to agree with and vibrate with, and what you can see exists as information that certain people hold or is available to you that doesn't vibrate with your heart's truth. There's boundary just for you to say, wait a minute, I don't have to take in your worldview, your prediction, your version of what the timeline is, your version of what we should all be thinking, feeling, doing. I don't have to do any of that. I am absolute. I am eternal and absolute, and as Seth said, inviolate. I am. You stand on your own ground. You stand on your own divinely given real estate, and you are sovereign in that real estate. You are the only one, I've said this before in other videos, you are the only one that gets to choose what you vibrate with, which reality you vibrate in and experience, which timeline. There are many versions of the timeline going forward, and anybody who knows anything about realities and probabilities and timelines knows timelines are constantly interweaving in and out of each other. That's why even from the channeled entities and the spirit guides and the great psychics that you hear online or on YouTube, they'll contradict each other, and then plenty of times they'll contradict something they said earlier. Oh, we're on a different timeline now. Right, that's because things really are always changing. There is always new information, and we can just shift from timeline to timeline and interweave probable realities. So I just want you to, if you start feeling overwhelmed or like, do I understand what I'm supposed to understand? Am I doing what I'm supposed to be doing? Am I feeling, am I working? Am I getting there fast enough? Push it all away. Not as in walling anything off, but simply, this is my sacred space. Big, sacrosanct breathing space, your space. You are fine. You are perfect. You can't not be on your individualized perspective and pathway of God consciousness. Think about it. You are an individualized perspective of God consciousness, learning about itself and experiencing on a pathway of potentials and experience. You can't not be on your pathway. You are the pathway. So I guess there, and I also have been seeing and feeling just beloved. All the higher dimensional beings, the God consciousness, just wants you to know how beloved and supported and how good you are. You're fine. You're doing fine. And that you are not subject to or vulnerable to someone else's version of what should be going on, what you should be rising up to and when. And you are not subject to anyone else's version of the way the timeline is going to look for you. You are going to choose. You are choosing which version of the timelines to be on at any given time. You are choosing your one main your one main direction that you're going, and there may be some I don't know, some little bit of swervings, not bumps. I don't even want to call them bumps, but you're on your timeline. You're fine. You're perfect. You don't have to worry about whether or not you're ascending or doing it right or fast enough. And on the note of who or what you do or do not have to listen to and agree with, that there's your independence, your boundary. Do just be aware. As much as many channels think that they are completely independent, like they're somehow just some kind of a mindless megaphone that pure true information just comes through them, like it's not related to them. I just want to share with you that channels, whether they're conscious channels or unconscious channels, they still are related vibrationally to the information they bring through. Seth actually said that, I remembered recently, once in one of his original books, that the channel is always part of the information that's coming through. And what I mean by that is you're going to hear certain channels, certain entities being channeled that are very much talking about dark forces, and we must fight against the dark forces, or we're winning against the dark forces, and don't worry, we're protecting you. That isn't as unity, absolute love, unconditional love, and the absolute safety that I know exists, because I have perceived it directly. It was shown to me. It was given to me. Not saying I feel it every minute of every day. I'm human too. But oh no, once you've been shown and felt that, you get it. There's an absolute unity and safety that exists when you're in the fifth dimension, the higher consciousness. Being a warrior against dark forces is not quite there. I'm sorry to say, I'm not putting down the channelings or the anything of anybody else. I'm just saying, let's put it this way. If you listen to a psychic or a clairvoyant or a channeled entity, and you feel empowered and uplifted, like you are the chooser of what you vibrate with, and what you vibrate with matters and affects the reality that you're creating, and you just feel free to create, and you're empowered and uplifted, that's someone to keep listening to. If you're listening to something that makes you feel like you're threatened, or you better watch out, something's out to get you, we have to defend ourselves, or like, yeah, maybe you're not quite doing it right, maybe there's something wrong with you. If it makes you in any way feel sort of like this or on the fight, you have every ability and right, and I'm seeing, to reject and dismiss that. People are welcome to the information that they vibrate with, the channel of information they plug into and bring forth. And if you vibrate with it and resonate with it and it feels good to your heart, fine. But if it doesn't, you get to dismiss it. You get to reject it. Just like I've used this before. If you're at the big smorgasbord, the all-you-can-eat smorgasbord, and there's every kind of vegetable and food there that you could choose, and there's lima beans, and then there's, whatever, broccoli or say asparagus, whatever your favorite vegetable is. If you don't like the lima beans, you're not required to keep focusing on the lima beans. You're not required to eat the lima beans and like them or eat them, or frankly, you're not required to fight the existence of lima beans. You just turn your attention away, lima beans not for you, and turn your attention to what is for you. Does that make sense? So that's really it for today. I recorded something. It's coming to my mind, so I'm going to say this. I recorded it and posted it a couple months ago. I believe the title is "You Are Not Defenseless." That is on this subject. I don't even remember now what's in it, but I know it's on this subject. You're welcome to watch that. I'll leave a card at the end here for you to watch it if you want to click on it. But the message is, you are beloved. You are supported. You are standing on sacred, divinely given real estate. You have a right to be here. You have a right to be you. You're not required to meet anybody else's expectations. You are just fine as you are. And also, there is one more thing. One more thing just came through, if you'll stay with me. There's the levels of consciousness, and human consciousness has, the lower level and the higher levels. And I'll be talking about that in this Sunday Spirit Talk, by the way. But in the Hindu church, it was a non-sectarian, but it was really Hindu church that I attended as a very young woman in Silver Spring, Maryland, the Golden Lotus Temple, I believe. I remember the end of one of the sort of prayers or things that they would say is consciousness, existence, bliss, absolute. And that sort of within physics and other terms would be the singularity, where you as the God consciousness that holds all potential stories. And then, of course, you articulate and you experience yourself in every possible aspect of yourself within all of these stories, the universes. But at the God consciousness level, the singularity, where the God consciousness is consciousness, existence, bliss, absolute. And I didn't get till just, I'm not kidding, a day or two ago, it's like, wait a minute. Even though we're walking around in the physical, and yeah, there are things when you turn on the news and there's the ascension, there are stories, what I've been talking about, stories, and we're in our stories and playing our part in the stories that we choose to play. At any given moment, you guys, you can just sit in your backyard in the sun or by a swimming pool where the kids are playing and laughing, or on top of a roof. If you're living in the city, it doesn't matter. And at night, looking at the stars, you can just sit there and just be in this state where you're not thinking about problems, you're not thinking about what you should or shouldn't be doing or what you need to do. Nothing. You just are. You just are. And that is that state, isn't it? Even while we're in physical form, we can have moments of that consciousness. I'm awake. I'm aware of beautiful things, but here I am. I'm consciousness, existence, you exist, and just bliss, absolute. You just are, and you just feel wonderful. No story involved. You just feel wonderful. So anyway, I just wanted to leave you with that. And again, I'm seeing beloved, just so much support for your independent being, support for your boundaries and how okay you are as you are in and of yourself, and how beloved you are. That's what really wanted to come through today. So have a wonderful, magical day, everybody. I'll see you here in the next day or so. Bye-bye.